passion project made by 3 Swedish programming students, the game How Fish is Made can be completed in 20 minutes. 5, if you rush. But despite this short runtime, it stuck with me more than games I have hundreds of hours in. You play as a fish trapped in a grotesque biomechanical hellscape. As you flop along, you encounter other fish and they always ask you the same thing. Are you going up or down? You never get to know what each choice means until you've already made your decision. On the surface, the decision seems pretty analogous to death. It's an ending, at which point you can go one of 2 places, up or down, heaven or hell. But when you look closer, it's not that clear cut. You see, How Fish is Made has 2 endings. In one, you choose up and get transformed into a Lovecraftian mass of writhing flesh. In the other, you go down, and you're cooked and put on a sandwich. If these were heaven and hell, wouldn't one be, heaven? Even if you prefer one of these options, it's not like you could have known before you made your decision. Despite this, most of the fish form staunch opinions about their choice, standing by it religiously. This is because How Fish is Made isn't a game about death. It's a game about how we deal with it. The attitude of many fish we meet throughout the game mirrors the way people cope with existential dread. Some are calmed by religion and the promise of an afterlife. Some live in denial, and some simply cower in the corner. Each NPC we meet has a different reaction to their own mortality. As fascinating as its themes are, visually there's something about this game that needs to be acknowledged. I mean, it is truly gross. It's full of rancid, fleshy piles, eyes where there definitely should not be eyes, and just a general atmosphere of rot. No scene showcases this better than the musical number. Yeah, you heard me right, the musical number. About halfway through, you'll find a parasite in a fish's mouth, and after talking to him, he treats you to... So, what is this? Why? Is it just gross? What's the point? Well, there is no point. That's because I think this song represents another approach to existential dread. Absurdism. Fighting against a pointless and limited existence by enjoying what it has to offer. Most of the lyrics are nonsense, but the same phrase keeps getting repeated. Just living with it. Oh yes, you'll be buried with it. No matter who you are, you'll be buried with it. You will die uncertain, not knowing why you were here or what's coming after. The parasite isn't exempt from this either. He's not meant to be an omniscient character. He doesn't know whether up or down is the right decision. He's just as clueless as everybody else. And yet, because of this philosophy of absurdism, he seems to be having a much better time. Even the seemingly silly parts of the game have thought-out subtext, but there's more to the actual content of this game than gross shit and quirky sea creatures. As I mentioned before, when you go up or down, you get one of 2 endings. But either way you go, there's something before that. The screen fades to black, and an unnamed narrator, probably one of the developers, just talks about how they're feeling. What's been on their mind. This is what I mean when I say that How Fish is Made is about dealing with it. In the final section, we're shown just that. Somebody trying to figure out how to live. It's honest, it's raw, and it's impactful. I love a lot about this game, but it was at this moment that it felt important. To me, to anybody who should happen to play it. There are plenty of pieces of media that address existential dread, but nothing has hit the nail on the head for me quite like this. How do you even operate in the face of something so overwhelming and inevitable? How is anyone able to lift a finger? How are we not all constantly paralyzed by dread? How do you deal with it? You can take a lot from a game like How Fish is Made, but personally, I find its message to be pretty optimistic. It shows the pitfalls of some approaches to life, but the ending monologue seems to suggest that there's another way. Don't resign yourself to nihilism. Enjoy what life has to offer. Take a moment and sit out on the grass. Read a really good story. Go see your favorite band, or just have a conversation with the people you care about. You'll find that when you slow down and really appreciate the things that bring you joy, everything becomes a little more precious. And yeah, it's true, one day you're going to die, and maybe none of it will have mattered, but the concept of death only has as much power over you as you allow it to have. If you're not going to take the time to enjoy your life while you're here, then you're already gone.